Hello everybody, and welcome to my clutterroom in my corner of the creational matrix. My name is Kevin Smith, and I have a few things to share with you. We all have our 5 vehicles that encompass the personal created self. All have various faculties for generating experiences in the simulator, which is the purpose of creation and the function of the 5 vehicles that correspond with each life level. Most people will remain locked into their physical and astral vehicles only. Yes, they still will have all 5 vehicles, and yes, they, like everyone, will have a real self with the ears that requires real awareness to recognize, but their focus is primarily with the bottom 2 rungs of creation. We would refer to such peoples as physical astral. This is understandable, as everything in creation has become a gigantic control system to ensure individuals never escape the simulator and assume a real position in the real universes of the ears. Focus dictates where an individual will position themselves, as everything sought, focused upon, and wanted will produce the experience as a reflection of where the focus is placed. Without awareness of the true reality of the ears, it would be understandably difficult to place focus upon something we would be unaware of. And so, individuals with no awareness of the ears will continue to create in creation only, the focus never reaching beyond the simulator, chasing what we may term personal self created in tents. We may well move up and down the creational scale to a degree, according to our focus. If our focus becomes very mentally orientated, and more so than emotionally driven idea creations, then we may well find ourselves on the mental life levels when we transition. Those that seek to unlock the psychic sciences, the abilities of the ethereal 5th life level vehicle, the seat of magic, etc., may well reach this position, as their focus is overwhelmingly placed there. It depends on the individual, but generally it is through boredom that one might seek to move beyond just the astral emotional self, through the mental self, and dabble with creational manipulation, which is effectively what magic involves. Regardless of what body vehicle and its faculties are utilized, it is still in creation that these ideas these creations are decided upon, and so the inevitable principle of cause and effect must follow, as this is the design of the creational simulator. Most people will never move beyond the astral level, as it is the emotional body that is vastly overutilized, the emotional astral body being the seat of sensation, the main sensation sort being, of course, sexual gratification, in all the varied forms this may take. It's easy to see, then, why few will, if ever, focus much on anything beyond the astral, will create and decide and activate ideas that generally are not emotionally orientated. The dark forces, those that wish to keep everyone in creation as their slaves, the reptilians, etc., understand how this is achieved. They appreciate the mechanics that keep people trapped in the simulator, and preferably at the lower levels within it. Ideally, they would wish to keep individuals fluctuating between the physical and astral only. The closer an individual becomes to their real awareness, the more they may seek to extricate themselves from creation. So it's preferable, from a controller's perspective, to keep them as far from it as possible, to keep everyone literalized and emotionally embroiled. This they can only do through agreement. Nothing can be imposed on anyone unless it is agreed with, as this is the nature of the simulator. It is agreement to ideas, or the deciding upon them, that affords us the corresponding reflecting experience. If we agree to control, a controlled experience is the effect that we step into. It is very easy, then, to have individuals restricted to the physical astral only, as everything on this planet is an engine room of emotional baiting. Every atrocity and deed by the dark controllers, if exposed or revealed, will have, from their perspective, a desired outcome, that being of rage, anger, and potential uprising. There are endless additional sources of sensation stimulation to keep people astrally engaged. The world basically runs on the need to satisfy the limitless sexual urge that the personal self and the emotional part of it craves. As we can see, the controllers mind not if we learn of their activities, their outrageous exploiting, pillaging, and destruction of the world, peoples, etc. They mind not if we learn of reptilians, chemtrails, GMO, or vaccinations, as the knowledge will allow awareness of what is going on, but it can do nothing to allow the superseding of the simulator, and the emotional reaction to the knowledge will have the desired cause and effect restricting result. And that, along with the endless pursuit of sensational thrill-seeking, will have individuals overwhelmingly locked in the emotional part of their personal created simulator vehicle. Nothing is negated. It's not that one may not gratify oneself emotionally, or that we must never become irate, as while we are in creation, we have the personal self, and all that it entails, regardless of our awareness. But how much of the thrill do you want? How many more lifetimes do you want to do what you always have? And that is to generally cater for the astral, emotional, personal selves' insatiable needs. Perhaps it's time for something new, something different, rather than endless lifetimes of slavery and agreed upon restriction in an increasingly deteriorating simulator, due to the overall effect of that which is decided upon, that which restricts awareness. For in the very least, if our focus moves perhaps beyond the emotional astral part of our personal self, we can begin to see more, to be more, and as the experiences reflect that which we focus upon, that which we decide, we will have more expansive experiences. The more we focus on what we might term our higher creational vehicles, we are bypassing the astral, the mental, and so there are less filters that may obscure our connection with the ethereal vehicle. This is the seat of psychic phenomena, yes. It is also the seat of imagination and intuition, the closest in creation we can be to our real awareness and real selves beyond the simulator. This surely is the reptilians' worst nightmare. If everyone decides to focus on the ethereal, intuitive parts of themselves, a whisker away then from the true reality, and generally operating and focusing at the ethereal will tend to attract the attention of the real universal guides, and the opportunity to supersede creation altogether be offered. Such a focus would demonstrate risk-taking, a real courage that the guides look for, and if we take this next step, connect to the ears with the new You song, and accept the assistance of the guides, our real awareness begins to be recognized, and we can position ourselves gradually that we become no longer the unconscious effect of our personal, self-driven unawareness. We move beyond the cause and effect restriction of the simulator and decide to stand real in the new nowness of the ears beyond it. And ultimately, we can assume the universal positioning as a free being of real light, beyond anything we have ever known. We are that now. We simply have to recognize it, and when we do, we will discard the personal, self-created vehicle, as it has now served its purpose. Have fun deciding. Continue to pursue emotional, thrill-seeking sensations in creation, or liberate yourself from cause and effect restriction, and be and have everything you ever have wanted, and more than you might imagine this to be. Real freedom beyond the limitations of the controlled and locked down reptilian matrix. And now I would like to read a new article by Duane the Great Writer. Animals Die in Australia by Duane the Great Writer. World abusive controllers are attacking everywhere on your planet Earth because we, wonderful worldwide educators, are here with Rebazar and the real universal guides, and providing a real opportunity for everyone to wake up from this passing dream matrix of reincarnation and taplining karma. Raging fires and extreme heat wave from HARP and lethal lasers from world governments in Australia has led to the deaths of wild horses and other animals in the outback, authorities say. Rangers found dead and dying animals in a dried-up waterhole near Alice Springs in the Northern Territory. The animals had already died from dehydration and starvation. Surviving horses were later culled. It comes amid record-breaking heat from HARP government weather controllers, with temperatures hitting 49.5 degrees centigrade north of Adelaide in South Australia. The mercury rose to 47.7 in the city. More than 13 towns in the state of South Australia have seen heat records eclipsed from government HARP. Emergency services in more than 13 districts are on alert for fear of possible bush fires from lethal lasers. Meanwhile, in Alice Springs, near where the horses were found, temperatures have exceeded 42 degrees centigrade for almost 2 weeks. An Australian local told the ABC News that water was normally there and that the horses just had nowhere to go. The Government Council said it had organised a cull of the remaining horses because they were found close to death. They also planned to cull another 120 feral horses, donkeys and camels, dying from thirst in a neighbouring community, said CLC director. He could tell the truth as to what is really happening to everyone, and further saying, with climate change, government weather population control truly upon us, we expect these emergencies to occur with increasing frequency. In other words, the government will continue to destroy the all-natural environment supporting all of us, and people and animals and birds, and nobody is truly prepared and resourced to respond to them, said the government man. All wildlife species are suffering, with reports of mass deaths of native bats and other animals and birds in New South Wales. Over 1 million fish have also been found dead along riverbanks in the drought-affected state. The government has launched a review, a stall and diversion to not want to confess to what they are doing into the fish deaths. South Australia health authorities, cabal world controllers, said many people have come in for treatment, probably given mind-controlling drugs, due to the extreme temperatures. Officials nationwide have issued health warnings. Provide real education and people can take care of themselves, urging people to stay indoors and minimize physical activity, with heightened concerns for the elderly, the chronically ill, and children, which the officials are purposely destroying. www.firevictims.mystrikingly.com. Duane Eva, the new wave is with Rebazar and the real guides. Ask Kelsey and Henry and Eric and Val on Facebook. www.turfclub.club. www.wonderfulworldwideeducators.com. And I will leave it there for today, and I will finish with the New You song. New You.